Hello guys, how are you? Well, today we are again on the road. Today we are visiting a friend of mine, a colleague of mine of profession. It is called Borgata. Today we are doing this video to add up to the new playlist of the Alfa Romeo Experts here in Portugal. Today we are visiting this friend of mine. He is an expert on all things Italian and including Alfa Romeo, of course. And today we are checking out what is his way of working, his new workshop, and also the ins and outs of his methods of working and diagnosing systems. And some say he is also a master on remapping. Let's see. Here we are on the workshop of Borgata. This is a very small, not small, but compared to another workshops, a small workshop. But believe me, this is not just about looks. This is about working correctly, working with method, and working the way it is supposed to work. So we have here an Alfa 156, 159, a Fiat Punto with an interesting swap over there, another 159 and 156 with some modifications. So let's see here, this is Mr. Bruno. Hi.
Hi. Hi guys.
So let's see here, probably with the last one over there, it is engine rebuild that he is doing. So this engine, it is the third engine, the third head that this engine has, because the first one, it is the one that had the DPF. So the issue with the heads, you already saw on my previous video about the heads with the DPF, and that head cracked, and then they put a new one, the CF3 engine head. That solved the issue, but the problem was the coolant system was so bad that the car still had issues with the heating, and the engine head cracked again. Now on this workshop, he followed the problem through to discover all of the problems, and it really was, all the system was really clogged up. And we can see here the problem still on that steel pipe, for example, and everything is being done the way it's supposed to be done. So everything is clean now, a new head for this engine, and try to replace all the broken parts, all the clogged parts, and use proper coolant. We have here another car with coolant problems that we are seeing in a minute, but this is here a big job, a big work, because of the lack of maintenance.
In this case, the head was replaced by a CF31, is more resistant than the CF4. In this one, we replaced the head. This one is a CF31, is more resistant than the CF4. And yeah, that's it.
So you replace all the broken parts. We have here a lot of parts on the bench over there that are really screwed up because of the lack of maintenance. Remember this, guys, really. Lack of maintenance on the cooling system is the number one killer on all cars, makes and models. So let's check out the next car. It is this Alfa 156 over here with the early 105 horsepower engine, the GTD. It has a few modifications on the turbo, on the fuel system, on the high pressure pump, for example.
Crankshaft also replaced by a Colombo Bariani 1.
2056 turbo over here, as you can see, with a modification on the manifold or exhaust manifold, of course. It is a VGT turbo.
VNT turbo.
Yeah. In here we also have the suspension elements from the Alfa 166. So it is the wider, I don't think that's it, but we have larger brakes and
it's a 4-piston caliper.
Yeah, a 4-piston caliper, very cool. Over here, the rims, not for my taste actually, but that does not matter right now. So it is a work in progress. It has new sway bars on the suspension. On top, we have a strut bar also. It is in storage. We have a lot of modifications here for this car. It will be, I think, apart from the wheels,
6-speed gearbox.
It will be a cool car. A 6-speed gearbox for this modified engine. It will be a little bit of a demon. Nice, with a sunroof. I really like cars with sunroof, by the way.
Leather seats. This is a good unit here. Electronically, it will be upgraded for the not new, but more recent than this one here installed. It will be upgraded to EDC 15C7. It is the unit that controls GTD 151. And the reason of this is to control turbo geometry electronically, and it's a big advantage, and everything will work properly.
No hidden fault codes?
No hidden fault codes. That's good.
Nice, that's nice.
We try to do everything as supposed to be, as better as we can do.
In here we have another Alfa 159, this time SW1. This is a beast also. This is the 200 horsepower, 2.4 liter multi-jet engine. It is really, as you can saw in my previous video, really a beast of an engine. And yeah, as you open the hood, more coolant problems. Not really problems right now, but at this stage it will have. So please replace your coolant as your manufacturer recommends, being 60,000 kilometers, being 80,000, whatever. But if you can do it sooner, it is better for your car. Also the brake fluid here, it is very black, so replace that please. The issues with this car are the alternator is not working properly. We have also to do the timing belt on these engines. The factory recommends you to remove the engine from the engine bay, but on this case, having a lot of experience, you can actually do it with the engine on. However, he will remove the front of the car. It is very easy to remove this front to work on the alternator. Probably the problem with the alternator was a power steering leakage that usually happens on the high pressure. So the problem was almost certainly this pipe here for the power steering. It was repaired on there, and the oil comes down and infects the alternator. So we have to remove the front to address that. Because of the repair of this pipe, normally the extent, the length of the pipe becomes different. But on this case, the problem is the pipe is not on the correct path. I think the pipe is not through here. I think it is through there. So the pipe is hitting on the shock tower, and it is creating a leak. Yay! So nice work to whoever done this. You repaired one, and you are creating another leak. Hooray!
Really?
As he is taking care of the alternator, he is also taking care of the crankshaft pulley. It is really wobbly right now. And also he has to see if the alternator pulley is doing its job to eliminate the backlash of the belt, as we saw on my other video about the alternator. Why does the crankshaft pulley fails? It is because of the alternator. Do not forget that. On this Alfa 159, these are the jobs to do: the alternator, the timing belt, remove the front to do all things properly as it should. Check out that pipe over there. It is not correct that way. It has to be seen right away. Replacing the fluid, he will ask the customer for that because it is really important. More important so on these 5-cylinder engines, because these heads tend to crack very easily with age, of course, because this is a 06 car, so the age does not play games with these cars. So these are the jobs for this beautiful Alfa 159. I'm eating a cookie. Chocolate cookie. Nice. Shut up! We have here next, wait a minute. What the? So, no engine? What happened? Did it run away?
It falls off.
No, I know. You have an engine over there, you told me earlier. And modification for this Fiat Punto 188, I believe. This is absurd. An engine with this kind of power, with an even bigger turbo, geometry 1, on that small thing. It will be a thing of beauty to see flying down the road. So it will not be easy because of the engine mounts. So over here, obviously, it will be normal on the gearbox. But on the timing belt side, we have issues with the mounting of the engine mounts, of course. So we have to fabricate something, some parts and pieces to accommodate this engine in place. It fits there, yes, but it is really, really tight. But a labor of love, so that does not have any costs, just for the customer. But the customer always right. And finally,
If you want, we give.
yes. And finally, we have here this very similar to mine Alfa 156. This is a first series one, mine is a second series. This has the 110 horsepower engine, like my sedan, my gray sedan, very beautiful car. And we have here some minor things, not really nothing much. This is a very well taken care of car. Everything is very, very good. It is here for some issues that happen in another workshop. So we have a problem here with a high pressure fuel pump. A problem is appearing that is very awkward. I kind of know what is the problem here. My colleague also thinks the same. As they repaired the high pressure fuel pump, something is wrong in there. So the symptom is, as you are driving along, as soon as you accelerate hard, the engine starts knocking like crazy, and the engine actually almost shuts down and starts to work very accelerated and very heavy on the injection. So probably we have a problem with the fuel pressure regulation. So, but that is very easy to see, you can say, because you can plug in a diagnosing machine and you can see the actual pressure on your fuel system. Yeah, not so fast, because actually on that other workshop, they did work on the engine ECU to do some stuff on the immobilizer, and now it is impossible to enter on the ECU. So that's not good. So he will do that diagnosis. He will do the research of the malfunction to see if the problem is with the OBD port, because sometimes they do damage the terminals over there, the wiring loom, or maybe yes, the ECU with something that is not done perfectly. So we have here two potential problems. The fuel pump is not properly repaired, and the ECU is not repaired as it should. And finally, we have here a steering column from Alfa Mito. It is the same on several models of the Fiat Group, and the symptom is the same on all models of Fiat Group. The symptom is the power steering does not work, or sometimes it just works on one direction, or is easier to pull on one direction than another one. So as you can understand, being this an electronic or electric power steering, you have to have some systems to know if you are turning right or left, okay? The same thing with the mechanic hydraulic system that I told you on the other video. This system also just makes power steering for the right or for the left, not the two at the same time. So you have to have a part that tells you or tells the system when you are doing the left force or the right force. So the problem usually is this sensor here that you have over here, and you have to replace it, and you have to do a learning of the system. If you do not have a proper diagnosing machine to do the learning, you will never have this system working properly, because it has to be micro-tuned to be exactly as intended, to be exactly the same force, left to right and right to left. So this is a very usual and easy fix to do, and this person here on this workshop has all the capabilities to do these kinds of repairs. As you can see, we have electronic repairs, we have electronic, mechanical repairs, we have modifications over here, you have items of maintenance over here, a little bit of more modifications over there, and here restorations, if I can call it so, because this car has to be restored in some sense of the finding parts, finding water pipes, finding tubes. It is really hard now to find some parts for these cars because they are discontinued. So this is more like a restoration project almost for a modern car, because it is really hard to find some parts. So as you can see, they are hard at work. They are here doing some injector coding to be coded later. Okay, so let them do the work, let them work all the way, all weekend. Actually, we are doing this at weekend. This is not staged, they are really working. And guys, if you are here in Portugal and need a hand over here, down on the description, we have the contacts for this company. We have the email, we have the phone number, all the stuff that you can do to get in touch with Bruno Borgata. This is a very honest workshop, as you can see. Don't forget that these works are being done, modifications or not, are being done as it should, no mocking about. So take this person seriously, because this is serious work. If you like what you see, please hit the like button. If you want to, please consider to share this with your friends and consider subscribe. Down on the description, there is a lot of information that can and will be useful for you. You can see there helps for the channel, playlists, videos, and so much more. Thank you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.